This is Money Mind's Career Compass segment on CNA 938. I'm Chu Wee Lin with Stanley Leong. COVID-19 has thrown up plenty of uncertainty, causing severe disruption to major industries and consequently the economy as a whole. As a result, many firms are slowing down their hiring process and some of them are even considering revising their hiring plans for next year.
So amid these unknowns, should you even be thinking about career advancement? Wouldn't it be best to hunker down, keep your nose to the grindstone and pray that your head won't be the next to roll? Well, joining us to discuss this is Maxine Teo, founder of Global Max Academy. They are an international training and consulting firm. Maxine, no stranger to us here on Money Mind. She's a motivational speaker and trainer, and she's also author of this brand new book out called Secret Manual of the Sales Warrior. And if you've got any questions for us, for her, I wouldn't say us. She's got all the answers. We've got the questions. Do call through 669-11938 or send us a text message. And that number would be 963-11938. Maxine, good to speak with you again.
Good morning, Stanley. Thank you for the very energetic introduction as always. And hello, Whelan. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Now, many of us think of career advancement as either getting a promotion or changing careers to something that pays more. Maybe you have a higher sounding position title as well, or just offers better opportunities. But would you say that now is actually a risky time to even think about doing that, even changing jobs?
Oh, if you asked me this question 6 months ago, it would be a resounding yes, don't do it. The time has passed. People have become more adaptable, in fact, become more upskilled because of all the changes, all the new normal. So if you ask me, and not just my opinion, but many career experts in the world as well, this is the best time. Let me justify that. I think, first of all, many of us have realized that, oh my gosh, anything could have happened. We could have died long ago, or the world could have crashed on us. But many of us were so resilient that we bounced back. And this is the moment where many people realize that with these new skills, I'm ready to take on new challenges, something that I've been fearful of doing for a long time. So number one, we have become more aware of our skill sets. I think the second reason why I would say this is a very good time is, job or employers wouldn't be too happy to hear this. But in the past, when we had to secretly look for, scroll through our website or to surf to look for other opportunities or make a phone call, we have to do it secretly.
Yeah, because we're all in the office.
Yes, but now half of us, even if we're in office sometimes, is alternate, right? So you can actually do it in the security, the safety, the privacy of your home. So that would be actually a good timing as well. I think the third reason I would say is a good time to do so is, I think for many of us, we realize we want flexible arrangements, and many employers out there are actually looking for that kind of arrangement as well. So this is a win-win situation. Not only is it a good time for employees to start to switch jobs, it is also a great time for employers to start to relook at their employment structure, their costing model, that you don't have to lock in your fixed cost. You know how many companies fail, right, during the last few months because they're paying salaries either at a certain percentage, or some better still, they held on to 100% of the salary, and that took a huge hit on the bottom line. So in summary, yep, but I'm not saying that to you, okay? Please stay, Whelan and Stanley. I'm talking about in general.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely riveted to my work.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Maxine, I'm not so sure if it's a best time in terms of maybe remuneration in certain sectors, as well as in terms of the kind of vacancies they have. So would a lateral career change also be considered part of career advancement?
Like something that crabs do?
Walk sideways. I love your comment just now. Move it. Yeah, this one move sideways. Strictly speaking, within lateral movement is not career advancement. Strictly speaking, because advancement, as the word implies, is about moving up, it's about a higher position and higher salary. But lateral movement is typically sideways, like what Stanley said, the crab way, to a different role, typically the similar position, similar pay. But I would say that's strictly speaking, but leniently speaking, sometimes when you move laterally, you acquire more skills that perhaps taps more on your abilities, and that could be an advancement in terms of your abilities. But in terms of your remuneration, your position, all that, it will be the same. But is it a good time to do that? I would say absolutely yes. Linking back to my earlier response, right? This is the moment where many of us realize we can do so much more than we thought we could. With all the BCPs around business continuity plans, where one person is expected to do 2 to 3 persons' jobs, so that touch if someone is down, you can do their job as well. And that was subconsciously lateral movement, equipping yourselves with more skills. So now is a good time to do more of the sideways, and better still, if you're looking at career advancement, this is the moment to actually jump out of your comfort zone and try something new, something crazier, because you know you can do more than what you thought you could. Yeah.
Yep. Well, for our listeners, if you want to pose Maxine a question, whether you want to move up or move sideways or in any other direction but down, do call through 669-11938, or you can send us a message, WhatsApp or regular text message 963-11938. We have Maxine Teo with us on the line, so this is your chance to call through right here, right now on Money Mind. Now, if we want to make those moves, whether vertically or laterally, how do we approach our boss and say, boss, I'd like to, do something different. I'd like to take over your job, or okay, maybe not that kind of question, but something along those lines of expressing interest in wanting to do something different or move on from something to a different position. How do we broach that topic?
Oh, thank you. If I could summarize that whole action, that whole process in 2 words, it's called career empowerment. And coincidentally, it's a very hot topic nowadays. In the last few months, I've been engaged to deliver training on this topic, which is stop expecting your boss to come and, hey, Stanley, would you like to get a promotion? Would you like to try something new? It doesn't happen. Bosses have their own fish to fry, their own things to worry about. So yes, first of all, before you even talk about the how, you must talk about your own intention, the big why. Right? Because if your why is big enough, you will find the courage, you will find the moment to speak to your boss. So that's number one. Ask yourself, why do you want to move up or move sideways? And once you have decided on that, it's a mindset shift. Don't expect your boss to come to you all the time, although some bosses do that. Most of us are very busy. So you have to approach your boss, not with the intention of, hey, boss, I'm tired of you. I'm going to move out of this because I'm going to go to another department. That, of course, will not fly. More importantly is you want to consult your boss. So the strategy that I'd like to share with our listeners today is you want to ask your boss, how can I get promoted? But more of, hey, boss, I'm looking at further improving myself in advancing my career so that I can value add to our company even more. What would be your advice on my next steps? At the same time, have some ideas in mind, because some bosses will be like, what, you think I'm an info counter, is it? So some bosses like it where you can tell them, hey, boss, I thought about this. I'm thinking based on my strengths, my interests, I would like to move towards this direction, A, B, or C. But again, boss, what do you think? So when you adopt this consultative advisory approach, first of all, there's no fear that your boss will say, how dare you think I'm moving? No, your boss will most likely praise you for taking that power into your own hands, the interest in your own career advancement, to actually think through all that. And secondly, your boss would feel invested in you the moment you consult them. Because that's the thing about people being consulted. You have subconsciously been seen as the expert, someone who has the knowledge, the experience to be able to dish out advice to others who are looking in that area. And because they are invested in giving you the advice, they will become invested in you, in your career advancement. Would that make sense, Stanley?
Yeah. All right, Waylin, shall we email our boss right now? Or?
You go ahead. I'll see how the wind blows. Right.
Oh, that is so you, William. That's a very steady from PP. That's a very good balance over here. Some of us. Yeah, sorry.
No, I let Stanley be the guinea pig first.
Oh boy.
Well, Maxine, what if the boss is not very supportive when it comes to giving us advice, even if we do approach him or her, as you suggested?
That's a very valid concern. As in all things in life, right? There's a Pareto rule, right? 20% of bosses will like, yay, come on, let me give you some advice. Maybe 80% will be like, I don't know, I'm looking for some advice myself. So in situations like that, I have a few strategies or suggestions. And I think, first of all, think beyond your boss. Because in a company, your boss is not the only person. It's just like investment, right? It's about money minded. You don't invest in a single stock. What if that single stock crashes? Do you go down with him or her? Or that single stock doesn't perform? Do you underperform as well? So tip number one is form a team of advocates. People who would support you, people who have seen how you deliver your contribution to the company, and they can be across different levels, across different job functions. They're not necessarily your boss. On top of that, they could be outside of your own company. What do I mean by that? Especially in LinkedIn, one of the most popular business social media platform. That's where if you constantly contribute articles, comment on certain areas, people after a while will know you. And when you get endorsements, all this will help you to form your team of like the Avengers. All of them can contribute in different ways. And with that in mind, secondly, I would say to sometimes go around, not go beyond your boss or disregard your boss. It's not that, but go around your boss and find out who are the people who can influence your boss. Because sometimes when you try and talk directly to your boss, either he or she may not think that he wants to have the time or effort, or perhaps even want to spend that time to speak with you. But perhaps he would rely a lot on his secretary, on his vice president, people who would influence him. So second thing is, apart from that whole team of advocates, look at the centers of influence that will directly help you to influence your boss. And with many, many other techniques like that, my key strategy to everyone is, if your boss is not very supportive, don't just sit there and pout. Move around it, think outside of the box, outside of the company, and you will find a way to influence your boss directly. I think the third and final tip is a client that I work with, and it was a success. When I give advice like that, I suggested that perhaps you can think of projects within the company that would allow you or create opportunities whereby stakeholders around the company can see your competence. For example, recently we have a lot of all these team huddles via the virtual background.
Mm-hmm.
So I advised one of them and I said, okay, for these team huddles, you need people across the whole company to all join in, calling in from different countries. And I said, perhaps you can volunteer on that. So she got so excited. She said, yeah, I'll have all my 4 different companies around 4 different businesses from different parts of the world will be dialing in. They can see how confident I am in running the program, in facilitating it, and she did that. So that as a result from the whole project, a boss saw how competent she is, but she has not been very supportive. And the boss's boss asked, is that your team member? And of course, this boss like, yeah, she's mine. She's from my team. Yeah, of course. And as a result, the bigger boss actually said, why don't we give her more opportunities to progress in the company? Because she is a very capable person. And from there, she managed to leapfrog. And it's a win-win. Because the boss, her direct boss, who wasn't very supportive at first, now has some credit, right? Because she told her big boss that she's my team. And secondly, that the lady whom I was coaching, she had a new opportunity to venture in a higher position. Win-win.
Good on her.
Yeah.
Thank you for that advice. Now let's also get your advice, Maxine. Time really flies when we talk to you with so many pointers there. At which point should we decide that, okay, I think my time with this business, with this organization is up. I'm not moving anywhere, and it's time to exit and do something different, maybe join a different company, join a different industry maybe. At what point should we arrive at this decision?
Oh, this is a very scary question as well, right? Because for myself, I had thought about this a few years ago, even before this COVID-19 situation. I was thinking like, should I'm good at, I like to think I'm good at what I'm doing. But
You are.
oh, thank you. Just being me, I think you and I have a similar personality. We like to yay, try new things. And I thought, is it time? But now that I know what I know, which I didn't know what I didn't know back then, I have 3-step approach to advise a lot of steps involved. 3 strategies for our listeners. Okay. Strategy number 1, yes. Ask yourself the big why. What is your main motivation, right? Why are you even thinking of moving out of the company or out of your career? Because if that big why is due to boredom, there are many opportunities, especially if you explore enough in terms of lateral movement within the company. And that would save you a lot of time, effort to actually learn something or join a new career from scratch. So before you go like, I want something new, and then go boing out of the company, hold your horses, because there could be lateral movement opportunities. So strategy number 1, ask yourself why. Strategy number 2 is what? That's what question. If you're thinking of moving out into a new career, what are the skill sets required? Do you have them? Do you need to acquire them? Because if yes, you need time, money, effort, right? And once again, you need to weigh it against other things. Can you afford the time, money, effort? Do you have emergency funds that last you a few months? Because the recent study showed, right, 2 in 3 Singaporeans don't have emergency funds that last for more than 6 months. So if you're in that situation, ask yourself, I don't think I have that resources, the skill set. Then you might want to hold your horses again. But yes, by all means. And the third and final step is the how. After you have established the why, you go, yes, and then the what, I have it, and then comes the how. The how would be, how are you going to have that? How are you going to go about it? How can you leverage the context that you have right now to give you a jump start into a new career if you want to change industry or even change company? Do you have someone in it to give you an advantage, or are you prepared to start from the bottom? On top of that, how committed are you to go all the way, right? Once you have established your why, your what, and your how, and it's all yes, 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 then it's time. If it's no, rethink. There are many opportunities of lateral movement within your company, or even vertical ones, right? New opportunities. There you go.
Right. Thank you, Maxine. Why, what, and how? When will be the next time we hear from Maxine? It'll be next week, 1 week from now. Maxine Teo is founder of Global Max Academy, an international training and consulting firm. And you can always reach her or find out more about what she does at her company website called maxacademy.com.sg. A big thank you again, Maxine. Always a pleasure speaking with you, and we look forward to next week's chat.
Yay, me too. Thank you very much, Stanley. Thank you, Whelan.
Thanks.
Listeners, bye.